known it came from probably the Mott gas station over here.
Yeah.
So we go on this whole thing, and then like 30 minutes later, they called us back to the ramp, and we go back, and that's when they told us that Luke passed away. And it was like worst day of my life. I've told this story over 100 times now. That's why it's not as sad. It is sad, but it's just horrible that he had to go through that. But I'm thankful that he didn't know he was shot, because he said, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the part that's like just being me listening to you saying that, like you were kind of joking around about it just beforehand, and then and then he gets
legitimate
shot.
10 minutes. I have it on camera. It's like 10 to 15 minutes before.
Yeah, how old was he?
He was 21 at the time, I think it was.
Young kid.
He was he just turned 21 or he was 20. But because I think he was only less than a year behind me. Because I was only a kid too at the time. I guarded the president, and now I'm a 21-year-old kid watching my friend die beside me and blown up once at this point. And so that was the thing they don't talk about and even I didn't think about. There's something in your head where, because you're in the Marine Corps, you go about your day, you work 7 days a week sometimes you work 5 days a week, and then you have to go in every once in a while. When I was going to war, it never occurred to me. It seems like people are like, that's stupid. It never occurred to me that I was going to work every single day for 7 months.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where you're like, I'm going to war, but you still don't think every single day I'm going to work. So knowing that, I'm like, oh my gosh, tomorrow we're going to work the next day. There's no time off. It's like your friend just died. You want 24 hours off? They don't do that.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
The next day, I legitimately had to say, Gilroy, you're in his seat now. And so Gilroy gets up in his seat. Now he's on the gun, and I have one less person. They didn't have anybody to backfill him. So
did Gilroy and the driver was Gilroy the driver?
No. At the time, he was. They every once in a while they switched out actually, but technically Moore was my driver, and then Gilroy was my dismount, and then Yepsen was my gunner.
Did they ever talk to you about like what was going through their heads after that happened?
No, well, Gilroy, he actually went through my songwriting program years later, so we reconnected a little bit, but I never went in depth around that conversation because it's so hard to go through Gilroy's probably 1,000 miles a minute. He tried to do he did more than Moore did. Moore's awesome. I mean, everyone's awesome, and it was nobody's fault in the situation, but it was just kind of, I remember looking at Moore and seeing him just stare off to space too, just thinking like, what's going to happen? Because that was their first real experience with war at all. Mine too, besides being blown up earlier in a different truck.
Yeah.
And then so I had to go to work the next day like nothing ever happened. I can't be mad at the people and the kids running around because there's nothing. I don't know who did it. They're from Syria, from Iran, from Iraq, whatever sniper it was. And so we just go back to normal. And then that was in December. And then January 2nd, I was blown up again. It was 2 130 stacked.